On the third day of theology, Carneades gave to me a rock God can't lift. Welcome back to Carneades.org. Today we're going to be continuing with the 12 days of theology with day number 3, the problem of omnipotence. If you're looking for day number 2, that wasn't one I'm doing. You should check out Epicurus, a Greek who's helping me out with these lovely videos. Now, omnipotence is basically to say that something is all-powerful. Omni being all, potence being power, able to do anything is the general kind of intuitive definition of omnipotence. However, this gives rise to a problem. If you have a being that is actually omnipotent, such as God, can God create a rock he can't lift? It seems that if he can create such a rock, then he's not omnipotent, as there's some rock that God can't lift. However, if he can't create such a rock, then he's not omnipotent, because there's something he cannot create. There's actually a pretty simple and common solution to this problem that's proposed in such places as Plantinga's free will defense in response to the problem of evil. If you want to check out those videos, please do. So, the solution goes something like this. This isn't a problem for God, but rather it's a problem for omnipotence. Anything that's omnipotent would have this problem. No omnipotent being could create a rock that they could not lift, because that would be a logical contradiction. So the most sensible thing is to change our definition of omnipotence. Instead of being able to do anything, we're able to do anything that's not a logical contradiction. If we do that, it seems to get rid of all of our problems for God about creating a being more powerful than he is, and so on and so forth. However, I put some thought into this response, and I have a few skeptical doubts, a few probing questions I'd like to put to it. Let's take a look. So, could the laws of logic have been different? This is a question that most philosophers will probably balk at, because our understandings of possibility and necessity are simply defined by the laws of logic. So, something, of course it couldn't have been different, because the possible is just anything that isn't a contradiction by the laws of logic. But that is really worrying to me, because it seems then that logic defines our concept of modality, which is just a big fancy word meaning necessity and possibility. And our concept of modality kind of defines our notions of logic. Something is logically okay if it's not impossible, and something is possible if it's not a logical contradiction. It's a little worrisome that there's not something underlying these concepts. They just seem to support each other in a nasty little circle. If that wasn't concerning for you, because that probably is a little far in the skeptical side for the more religious who created the laws of logic, was there a point in time where the laws of logic started coming into existence, or did they exist for all time? If they started to come into existence, what in goodness sakes did things look like before the laws of logic were created? And if they've always been in existence, then who created them? Did God not create the laws of logic? Is there something in creation that God didn't make, but something else made, perhaps? Seems a little concerning. And can God create laws he cannot break? Why would God create a set of laws that he himself can't break, seeming to limit his own omnipotence and limit his own power, when if he didn't create such laws, he could do things like create extremely good worlds where people have both free will and always do the good? I don't know. The most important question, though, I think, for this solution to the problem of omnipotence is omnipotence really omnipotence if it's limited? Take a look at the following example. So, one thing that we talk about in philosophy that's called impossible is a round square. Basically, it's something that is a square and is also round. It's impossible. However, could we solve this problem of having a round square by simply saying, well, what I'm going to do is redefine what round square means. It's just a square with one of the corners rounded over. So now, it's possible. This doesn't really seem okay, because our new conception of round square isn't what our original conception of round square was. There is some impossible version of round square still out there, and this weird new round square star doesn't seem to be what we're talking about when we say round square. Similarly, when we say that omnipotence is impossible, and then say, well, Okay, so it's impossible, so we'll just change what we mean by omnipotence and come up with a definition that's possible. It seems that we've created a bit of a problem. It seems that there's still a concept of omnipotence out there that is impossible, just like there's a concept of round squareness that is impossible out there. We're just kind of ignoring it because it's not possible and we're going to change the definition. It seems that there is some impossible thing that is greater than God out there. That's greater than this kind of omnipotent star thing, this semi-potence, if you will, that God has. So it seems a little concerning if we just change the definition of something to kind of fit our picture. Anyway, if you have one of the answers to one of these questions, or you'd like to pose more to the problem of omnipotence, offer those in the comments below. And keep your eyes open for the rest of the 12 Days of Theology. On the left are the videos that I'm going to be doing. On the right are the videos you'll find with Epicurus. Next up for me is Natural versus Revealed Theology. Watch this video and more at Carneades.org, and stay skeptical, everybody.